I discovered he was lying about porn and he was lusting over other women, which, we see things, we see their eyes, we see where their attention is, we feel it. And it was excruciating to me to find all of it out and know that my suspicions were right.
Jessica was crushed by the betrayal and desperate for the pain to stop.
We were up till 4 a.m. I was screaming, throwing things. He would leave. It was just very toxic and very hostile. And we would just go round and round in circles of, you don't love me. Yes, I do. No, you don't. And it was just this toxicness that I didn't know. I had no hope that we were going to be able to get out of it, honestly.
In her search for answers, she joined support groups for wives of porn addicts.
So many boundaries. They're really heavy on the boundaries. And I'm like, these just don't feel good to me because then I'm forcing you and you really want to. And that's not what I want. I wanted him to not want to look at other,
Divorce seemed like the only way out until her friend pointed out the flaw in that plan.
She told me, she said, most women who divorce are not happier after they divorce. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I'm like, wait a second, that ruins my whole plan. And I looked it up and it's true. Many people they don't go on to be happier.
That's when she stumbled on my podcast and she decided to try it out that very night. And the results blew her mind.
What is happening? I couldn't believe how easy it was. And there was proof that he did want to make me happy. He did.
What happened next was more than she ever dared to hope for.
Oh, it made me sob, honestly. It's what I always wanted. I just always wanted him to be so tender with me and so gentle with me. And to have that, it means everything.
My guest Jessica was in agony about her husband's porn addiction. There was nothing she could do to stop her husband from lusting over other women and his eyes never being on her. But now Jessica has a fairy tale marriage and she knows she can trust her man. She's going to tell us how she did it so you can do it too. Jessica, welcome to the Empowered Wife podcast. I'm excited to hear your story.
Thank you. I'm so ridiculously happy to be here.
Yay. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I usually like to start out in the bad old days, but I kind of feel like I would like to hear a little bit about, how you got together with your husband.
Okay. So we got married very young. I was 18. He was a Marine. I was in love and we got married. Yeah. Within a year of meeting, I graduated high school and I moved out to San Diego and the rest was history. I knew the moment I saw him that he was the one. And we just fell madly in love, soulmates. It was, he was my best friend. And I knew he was the one.
Wow. Oh, it sounds romantic. Sounds exciting. What started to go wrong?
Well, it took us 19 years to really have bad days, I guess. I discovered he was lying about porn and he was lusting over other women, which, we see things, we see their eyes, we see where their attention is, we feel it. And it was excruciating to me to find all of it out and know that my suspicions were right. And I just felt like he didn't love me. He couldn't convince me of that. I was fully convinced that he loved all these other women that he didn't even know more than me and that he was a liar and I didn't know him. And it was just the most painful discovery for me.
It must have been. So the first 19 years, everything's pretty good up until this discovery. Is that right?
I think the word good loosely because now that I know how amazing things can be, I'm like, they weren't that good. They could have been so much better. But he was sweet. We have 3 kids. He's a great dad. He worked hard for us. It's not what I have now. So now that I know what it can be, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So you make this discovery and really kind of knocks your feet out from under you. It sounds like feeling like this is not the man you thought you married.
Yeah. yeah, it just became this really like hostile environment. Like we didn't really have big fights for 19 years. We had disagreements and, tiffs, but not fights. And these were fights. And we were up till 4 a.m. I was screaming, throwing things. He would leave. It was just very toxic and very hostile. And we would just go round and round in circles of, you don't love me. Yes, I do. No, you don't. And it was just this toxicness that I didn't know. I had no hope that we were going to be able to get out of it, honestly.
Wow. So, I mean, so you caught him looking at porn, and then didn't he like promise to stop? Or, I mean, how was that conversation going?
I think he had so much shame around it. And he couldn't even talk. I don't even think there were promises made. Maybe there was, I'm not sure, but it wasn't good enough for me, even if he was a liar now. So I didn't believe anything that came out of his mouth because he wasn't the honest man that I married. So it didn't matter
Gotcha.
what he said.
Yeah. So this must have been, it was really terrifying for you to find this out, and so heartbreaking, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so you're having this fight kind of over and over, and then he would leave, you said.
Well, he just didn't know what to do with me. I wanted him to make me happy and I kept demanding it. I'm like, you need to fix this. You broke this. You're going to ruin our marriage. You need to fix this. You need to make me happy. I need to feel safe. You need to prove to me that you love me more than anybody. You need to prove your eyes are only on me. And I mean, it just it was I wasn't there wasn't anything he could do that was really going to make me feel better. So it was just this losing battle for him because there was nothing. My story was he didn't love me. And it
Yeah.
was easy to find proof of that when you're fighting. And he was always a very tender husband. But when we had these fights, I think because of all the shame he felt behind everything, he just would shut down and he was ice cold. I mean, I would be sobbing on the bathroom floor at 4 a.m. and he would be like, well, I'm going to bed. And he would. And I'd hear him snoring and I'd be like, how can you sleep when my heart is so broken? And it felt like such daggers to my heart because here I was trying to fix it. And he would just go to sleep because he was so overwhelmed by me and nothing he would say things and I would throw them back at, he would say, you use all my words against me because I would just kind of wait for him to say one wrong thing. And so it was really a losing battle for him in every way.
Yeah.
So,
It
yeah.
sounds, oh gosh, so painful for everyone. But you didn't know you were making it impossible for him. Like, you just knew you were heartbroken, scared, sad. Like, and did you tell him anything he could do? Was there something you thought, if he would just do this?
I don't think there was. It was very much just me throwing insults at him. Like, if you were a man, you would fix your family. If you were a real man, you'd love your wife. If you had integrity, you would fix this. But there was no real solution for him to fix it. I did eventually, it got to the point where I was just like dreaming of another person. I'm like, surely there's somebody who wants to kiss me. And I'm still somewhat young. I'm sure I could find someone else who would want to take me on dates and want to have sex with me and would focus on me. And I came to the point where I was like, let's try marriage counseling as a last ditch effort. But I was already done. And I was so controlling that I actually researched because I didn't want to waste my time with a marriage counselor who was going to drag this on for years. I'm like, let's just rip this Band-Aid off. So I found a marriage coach who was no nonsense, very direct. And yeah, I told him to call her and he did. He called her right away. And I told her, I'm like, you need to fix him because I'm over it. I have one foot out the door. I'm very done with him. And she's like, okay, well, come in. So we went to go see her and she told me I was being really critical, but I didn't understand what she meant. I'm like, what do you mean? He lied. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm being helpful. I'm trying to tell him things to do that would make him a better man, but I'm not being critical. And she told me, she said, "You don't know how much power you have." And I remember looking at her, telling her, "I don't have any power. This man doesn't even want to sleep with me. I have no power." Because I thought, women have this sexual power over men. And I'm like, I don't even have that. He wants nothing to do with me. He couldn't even bear to look at me most days. So,
Wow. So you're also feeling, so even though as angry as you were, you're also feeling rejected and powerless to fix
yeah.
this. And so you're saying you had one foot out the door. So you were contemplating divorce or leaving him or
Yeah, I had a list of divorce lawyers ready to go, and I was just done. I didn't want my kids to grow up seeing this. I'm like, this is so toxic, and I was just constantly felt so insecure and worthless because I couldn't measure up to these girls on Instagram or all these things. I could never measure up to them. So I thought, let's part ways and maybe we can at least co-parent in some way. But I was so angry that I couldn't really pull the trigger because I was just so mad at him. And I felt like it was an easy out for him. He wouldn't have to deal with me anymore if I did that. So I did tell my one friend. I told I told her, I said, I think I'm gonna file for divorce pretty soon. I'm gonna give it a few more weeks, but I think after Christmas, I'm just gonna file for divorce. And she was shocked. She's like, "No, you two are so in love. This can't be true." Everyone had no idea. And she told me, she said, most women who divorce are not happier after they divorce. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I'm like, wait a second, that ruins my whole plan. And I looked it up and it's true. Many people they don't go on to be happier. So I was like, oh no. And then I was like, this can't be right. So I called a friend who had been divorced about a year ago. And I told her, I said, I think I'm going to get a divorce. And she started crying and she's like, please don't. She's like, I regret it every day. I miss my children. I'm not there when they wake up at night. My husband's on vacation with his girlfriend, and I'm not the type of woman who would handle that well. And I know that about me. If I ever saw him with somebody else, I just know I wouldn't ever be able to handle that. I just wouldn't. So that really made me stop and think. And she's like, do you really want to spend every other Christmas with your kids? And the thought of that, it just, it softened me the tiniest bit because I had a lot of anger at that time, but it softened me just a little bit. And I'm like, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to do this. I still loved him. I just needed proof that he loved me.
and he didn't have divorce lawyers. He wasn't threatening to leave you.
No, and I
Yeah.
threatened time and I even flushed my wedding ring down the toilet. And I was just so, yeah, I threatened it all the time. And looking back, he never once even mentioned divorce. And I've asked him now, what would you have done? And he's like, I wouldn't have signed those papers. But in the moment, I didn't know that. I thought he was
Oh
also done.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it sounds just so painful. The whole thing. So
Yeah.
hard. So and what happened? So what happened with the marriage coach? Was there
So we kept seeing her and then we would have a few good days and then we'd go right back into the toxic 4 a.m. fights and we'd watch the sunrise and still be screaming at each other. And I just really had it. And one night I was Googling divorce lawyers. I'm like, I'm done. I need to at least serve him with papers so that he can see that I'm serious and I'm really going to leave and he really needs to do something different. Because there was just no empathy. I would be sobbing and he would just be like, how many times are we going to do this? And it was just like, how can you say that? So I was Googling divorce lawyers and something in my, I don't know, some divine intervention told me to open up my podcast. And look up. I wish I knew what I had typed. It was probably like how to make my husband love me, or what to do when your husband doesn't love you or give you any attention, because I just wanted him to hold me when I was crying, and he wouldn't come near me. And I would be screaming, "Why aren't you holding me?" And he wouldn't come near me. And yeah, I didn't even have headphones. I discovered podcasts have transcripts. It was all so bizarre. And I read it, and you talked about duct tape. And I was like, well, I'm just going to duct tape right now. Like, let's see if this even works. And I duct taped in the middle of a fight. I just stopped mid sentence and stopped talking. And it was probably the first time that I had let that man say something without, beating him over the head with it. And he was confused. He's like, are you mad? Like, what? And I was like, I just want to go to bed. I just want to go to sleep right now. And we did. And it didn't go on until 4 a.m. It ended much earlier than it normally would have. And I went to bed. And the next day I had a date with my friend who I had told about the podcast, because I was like, you're never going to believe what happened last night. I did this. I duct taped my mouth. And she's like, what are you talking about? You duct taped your mouth? And so we go to the movies, and my husband dropped me off. And before I got out of the car, I'm like, I would love to have a clean car and some flowers. And I said it half joking because, I was looking at divorce lawyers last night. So what are the chances, really? And I go into the movies, and me and my friend are just talking, and I'm telling her all these. I binged your podcast that day, and I listened to like 4 or 5 of them. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. And I expressed a desire, and we were chatting, and this older woman, we had 6 kids in front of us and us chatting. So we were probably really obnoxious. She turned over and shushed us. The nastiest, loudest shush. And the whole movie theater was like, and I looked at her and I looked at my friend. I'm like, if she had just asked me nicely, I would have said, I'm so sorry, and quieted down. And I had all these fireworks go off in my head, like, oh, like, that's why he doesn't want to hug me. It was like, it was so, I'm sure it seemed, my friend must have thought I lost my mind, because I'm like, it makes so much sense to me right now in this moment. Everything clicked for me. Everything clicked. It was like, this is what Laura's trying to tell me. This is why he's responding the way he's responding, because I'm the shush lady. And I was always shouting and always, love me. And of course you don't. If she had just said, can you please quiet down? I would have been like, of course, I'm so sorry. But we didn't quiet down. We got louder and ruder, because it was so, these kids were scared of her. It was so rude. It was just so, we weren't purposely doing anything. So it was really a full circle moment. I'm very thankful to the shush lady to this day, because she ended up leaving. She ended up storming out of the movie theater. She was so irritated with us. But she really showed me in my face what I looked like and what I was doing in my marriage. And then your podcast brought it all together by showing me how not to be the shush lady, and how to, if you just ask people, and that works with my kids too. If I'm shouting, pick up your toys, they don't want to do it. Nobody wants to be spoken to that way. So it was really a big moment for me. That's that changed everything. I didn't want to be.
Yeah. No, but it's incredible. Who sees themselves in the rude person, right? That's kind of an unusual perspective. That's an extraordinary perspective.
Yeah.
So that was very open, courageous, really, of you to see it that way. And kind of painful, probably, too.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot a good part of the story too, Laura. We got out of the movie theater, and my car was dripping wet. He had taken it to the car wash. And my friend was like, what's the name of this book? We're reading it today. We were both like, it's like, you called me last week about a divorce, and you just washed your car. And then I got flowers today.
Yeah,
And it
partially
was,
same, of course. Yeah.
what is happening? Like, I couldn't believe how easy it was. And there was proof that, like, he did want to make me happy. He did. He just didn't know how. The poor guy just didn't know how. So it was, one little movie date, really. That day was
Big day. This is a huge
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Right? Well, and you were implementing the skills very quickly. I mean, you had spent 4 or 5 hours listening to the podcast and kind of getting it in your head, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah, and I read the book, I think the next day, I read the book, and I mean, I'm just a hyper intense person anyway, so I did every skill. I'm like, "Why not? I heard these podcasts, I want what they have, I'm gonna do every single one of them," and I did, and I was very like codependent and needy as a wife. People would always tell me like, "Oh, you can't do anything without him." And I always felt that kind of that way. But something about that week, I was like, I'm going to go do this by myself and I'm going to go to the beach by myself and I'm going to do this. And I just became the happiest me I had been in a few months, honestly. And he was so confused. He pulled me aside one night and he's like, "What is going on?" And I quote, he said, he said, "I'm not doing anything different, but you're not angry at me anymore." And I had to tell, I was like, "Well, I heard this podcast and I just don't, I release you from trying to make me happy. I know how to make myself happy now." And I swear I could hear him exhale when I said that to him because I didn't realize the pressure he must have felt to please this unpleasable woman. But I was like, "I just release you." And it feels so much better to have that power myself versus giving it away to somebody who doesn't even know how to make me happy, honestly.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so his head exploded that day.
yes.
'Cause he was so confused, like, "Why is my wife so happy?" But it was because
Yeah.
you were making yourself happy. You were fully it's almost like you just flipped a switch. Like, this happened quick. This all happened really quick.
Instantaneous. I think the shush lady really was like, "I don't wanna be her. I wanna be me, and me is happy and joyful and playful." I love being playful. That's how I've always been. So, it just released, I didn't realize your book really helped me realize how controlling I was. I had no idea. I thought I was helpful, like we all do. But, oh gosh, the poor man couldn't take certain roads, and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't eat things I mean, he was hiding McDonald's from me, honestly, because he knew I'd flip out if I had known that he was eating, and that's a grown man who 20 years in the military, like, obviously, he's capable of figuring things out, but I really didn't think, I don't know, somewhere along the line, I thought he needed me so much, and yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, I love this story. So you're definitely making yourself happy. You've experimented with duct tape, and that went well. So and with the duct tape, did you have this feeling of like, "Wait, I'm not gonna get to say what I think," or like, "I can't just duct tape my"
No.
no.
For me, the duct tape is what I've always wanted. It's how I have my dignity. It makes me I still say what I want, but I say it in a way that I want it to come out. I don't know how I don't think I explain it as well as you do, but for me, it's like a pause. It's instead of just blurping out something critical or rude or hurtful, I can be like, "What do I actually want to say? You know, what is it that I'm actually wanting to communicate, and how do I do that respectfully?" And I love it. I feel like it's given me this presence that like nothing else can give you because I'm so aware of how I'm speaking and what I'm doing. And yeah, I love duct tape is my number one skill. It was the most helpful for me because I was so helpful all the time. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. 'Cause, yeah, I think people can hear it and be, like, offended, like, "Oh, you're just gonna become a doormat," but you're saying just the opposite, like, it actually made you
It's not
do
submissive at all. It's really not. I think people think it's that way, but I feel way more empowered because then I can say something without all this emotional turmoil. I can just say it with dignity, and it lands better that way. It really does. Like, he hears it when I say it respectfully versus the shush lady who just couldn't control herself. Yeah.
she couldn't. Shush lady coulda used a little duct tape, right, to think about how she wanted to communicate. Okay. Yeah, I love it. So, and you obviously you got great results from expressing your desires in a way that inspired just right off the bat. So I love that too.
Yeah.
So, and so so what else? What other, I know you did them all. So what else did you
And I
experiment
found
with?
like some little like gems in your podcast too, like the whispering in his ear. That I whisper, I can't remember. Oh, I whispered how I would love like a romantic night with candles and a massage and random. I mean, the next Wednesday, he put the kids to bed and is like, I need you to come to the bedroom now. And I was like, this is weird. And there was like hurricane candles were all set up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he did that. Whereas before, I mean, I was begging him to kiss me, to have sex with me. I was begging for it. And now it's like he went so out of his way. Yeah, the way I love that little gem because it's so nice to feel wanted, obviously, as a woman, but to know that someone's dying to make your desires come true is great. It's so simple. Who knew that you could just whisper? Like I didn't know that. I was complicating it all these years.
Yeah, yeah, and getting louder, does it make it more impactful? But yeah, getting softer. Wow, I love
Yeah.
that tip. That is a great gem. So yeah, everybody, well, okay, we can all experiment with that now with whispering in his ear. I love that. Eh, so it sounds like the physical intimacy, the sex came back really,
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we had the marriage coach, she told him, she's like, "You've got a hot wife. What are you doing? You need to have sex with her every day." And we still didn't. Like, and I was like, "She told you." And I would get so mad. I'm like, "She told you not to make me ask for it." And looking back, I'm like, "Oh, of course, that's so gross to like to do that to somebody." And now, yeah, I never have to. I mean, I found your podcast mind you, this has been 6 months that I found the podcast and read the book. And I have not had to ask or initiate anything for a very, very long time. I don't think I will at all. I think I'm the one who gets to turn him down now, which is lovely. So it's totally balanced now. I feel like you balanced out our masculine and feminine energy back to what it's supposed to be. He's the chaser now.
Wow. And you get to feel pursued and desired and seduced even, right? With hurricane light. Yeah,
Yeah.
hurricane. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big transformation from begging to like, yeah, now you get to turn him down. Like now you're like, okay, I know. So you got that power back. You felt like you had lost that. Like women have more
Yeah.
sexual power and it was
Yes. And
gone.
yes, it was completely, yeah, I had none. I cried to the marriage coach that I didn't have any sexual power at all. And now I don't feel that way at all. At all. And I do think SPFs helped so much too. Like I was so controlling before when I had first found everything out. I'm like, you looked at her. I can't believe you looked at her. I'm sitting right in front of you. Don't look at other women. And now when I'm just like, I love that you only have eyes for me. And I don't have to feel that gross desperation that you can feel when you're begging someone for their attention. Like I just know that he only has eyes for me and he does. And yeah.
Wow. So
Much better.
before he was checking out other women and now he doesn't?
No. We went out with friends. They were visiting and we were at a frozen yogurt place and these really beautiful little college girls come up behind us and his chair is facing them. He turned his chair so that he wasn't facing them. And I didn't ask for a thing because I'm not controlling anymore. So I didn't ask or say anything. He just doesn't ever want me to feel and sad or bad or any negative feelings. Like he will always he will look down. And it's funny because I remember at the beginning I had joined all these groups for wives with husbands who were porn addicts. And it was such a, like so many boundaries. They're really heavy on the boundaries. And I'm like, these just don't feel good to me because then I'm forcing you and you really want to. And that's not what I want. I wanted him to not want to look at so it felt really gross to me, all of it. And it doesn't work. I mean, I feel like if you tell someone don't do this or don't think of this, I'm immediately going to go do that probably. So, yeah, it's interesting how releasing all the control and just saying, I know you're a man with integrity. I know who you are. I know you're not that person. And he rises up to that. He doesn't, there's no ugliness or begging or any of that.
Now, when you first started using these spouse fulfilling prophecies about you only have eyes for me, and I know you're a man of integrity, did that feel honest?
No, they felt like lies.
Okay.
They felt first one they felt like complete lies. And that's how I think I knew I had a good one was, okay, I had this one. But then I would look for like just the tiniest. I remember for one of them I did, you always protect me because I'm so outspoken that usually if somebody's being rude to the kids or something, it's me who like mama bear them. And he would just kind of let people shout or do things. And I used to get so resentful about it. I'm like, you should protect me. So my first one, I think, was you always protect me. And we were at the beach and a wave was going to hit my clothes. I wasn't in a bathing suit and he lifted me up. And I was like, you always protect me. I love that you always protect me. And it was like that moment of like, I do protect her. Like he believed it too, because I feel like we both needed to believe it, And now, yeah, he will get he's very much a nice guy and he was always very sweet to everybody else. And I couldn't figure out why he was never sweet to me. It was so confusing. I'm like, you're such a good guy, such a good dad. You're so gentle with everybody. But with me, it was like ice cold and you're strong. You can protect yourself. And now it's totally flipped on its head where he won't even hold the door for other women most of the time. It's like it's only for me. And and I don't ask him to do those things. He's just like, you're the only woman that matters to me. That's it. I only protect and care about you. And if anyone's dealt with porn stuff, the insecurity that it can cause you, it's just, it's hard. But I feel like the self-care and the SPFs and the really staying on my own paper, because all these things and all these boundaries, people are going to find ways to do what they want to do anyway. So it's a moot point for me. I realized it was just stressing me out and I didn't need to be stressed out. I don't need to check his phone or anything because that's not my paper. That's not my problem, really. It's his.
Wow. So, I mean, that's amazing. What were some of the boundaries that you tried previously? You don't mind the things that didn't
I
work?
mean, I was, I joined all these groups for porn wife addicts, and I'm like, you should get a flip phone. And he's like, are you insane? Like, I'm not getting a flip phone. And there's an app. I tried. He didn't fall for that one, but I tried. And I tried to put an app on his phone that would like report things to me and tell me like if he had visited anything bad and blocked all these things. And it was just, and like, I just needed like reports of like, okay, what did you do today? Where were you? And who did you talk to? And it was very like motherly and just, it didn't feel good to do that. It felt like I was reprimanding a child and it didn't make me attracted to him either. It made me very angry and very repulsed by him because I don't want to control a man. It's just,
No. And then if you did get something on the report, like I'm sure that would just be that kind of ruin
yeah.
your day, right? Like if
Well,
there was anything on there.
I would shop for pain all the time in the beginning. I was very guilty. It was subconscious almost. It was like, well, I'm just going to go through his phone and see. And of course, you'll find something if you look long enough. And I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
found things from years ago. We've been married 19 years. So I thought like it was insane the things that I could dig up and try to pinpoint it and make it fit my story. But I think after having the skills, I learned how to repair all that a lot easier because I still do. I mean, I'm not perfect. I falter all the time and we still do have tips, but I know now I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to get in the car and call my friends and then I'll come back when I'm not in this energy anymore. And so he's used to that. He's like, you're gonna go. I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'll be back. And yeah.
Wow. So, but you do that to save you both, right? From staying up till 4 a.m. to, yeah. So it's a way of just being accountable for your own emotions. Like, so like, let's even talk about that. Cause I love this idea that like, so now you see something or you find something or something kind of sets you off like, he's looking at something inappropriate or, and then so then what happens? What do you do?
I'm trying to think. I think recently we were at a restaurant and I thought he was looking at someone. And I was like, I tell myself I'm probably 1,000 times a day. What do I need? How do I feel? What do I need? How do I feel? That's super helpful to me because I didn't know what I needed before. There wasn't any, I wanted to be angry, I think, really. I wanted to make him pay for his, mistake. And so now, and I think that day I was like, I really need you to reassure me. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And it was very like, "Oh, okay." Like, and that's all I needed in that moment, and it's much easier than going off on him and making him feel all these emotions versus just, I'm feeling insecure. I need some reassurance right now.
Oh, vulnerable.
Yeah.
It was vulnerable.
Yes.
I'm feeling
There you
insecure.
go. Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of being angry, which is when you're
Yeah.
defended. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels just all that resentment melted away. I don't know. I'm not sure how you did it, but I was so resentful and so angry. And a lot of those women are. They're scorned, bitter women that my husband's a porn. He's always going to be. And I'm like, no, it only took me, a week and we're fine. We're great. So, and they all think I'm nuts. But, but really, I don't have any anger because I understand that first of all, it's not my paper, but also I understand the part I played in it. Not that it was my fault in any way or I caused it in any way, but I understand my part in it. And I understand why their response would be bad to that. I just understand it better now.
And do you think your husband looks at porn?
I don't. I honestly don't. He would tell me that when we were with the marriage coach for weeks and weeks. And I'm like, I don't believe you. But I don't. He's so one of my SPFs is I'm a SPF queen or SFP. I keep saying that. SFP.
That's a brilliant
SFP.
prophecy. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
queen. And one of them is that he's so open and honest with me. And he will tell me where he falters and that he wants to work hard. And at the beginning, I was like, you need a counselor, you need to go to counseling. And he refused. And he's got an appointment this week to see a counselor that I had nothing to do with at all. I think it's just, I'm working on myself so much that how can you watch that and not, yeah. So,
Wow. So he's becoming a better man to match you
yeah.
becoming your best self.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh.
Yeah. He even took some music that he was cleaning up his music playlist. He's like, some of this is so derogatory to you and to women, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. And I'm like, just for the record, I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just a man of very high integrity now.
High
And
integrity.
yeah,
Which it almost sounds like, it sounds like you brought that out in him. Like there was
yeah,
two paths he could have gone down. And you brought out the man of high integrity who's very honest with you and always protects you instead
yeah.
of the other guy. So, so and before you thought he was an addict, a porn addict. Is that right?
I did, and I thought he was a narcissist too. I had fully convinced him that he was a narcissist, and he is the gentlest. It's so ridiculous. I look back and I'm like, my goodness, I was so ridiculous. Looking back, I don't think he was an addict. I think he was probably doing what most men do and just hiding it from their wives. And I took that as, you have a problem. You can't stop this problem, and therefore you're an addict. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, amazing. Because so I mean, is it fair to say you cured your husband's porn addiction? Can we say that?
Oh, I guess. I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to receive
Right?
that.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it. That's what I'm hearing.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I will take that. Yes. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
definitely not a porn addict at all.
He's not a porn
He's
addict, and you thought he
no.
was, and now he's not. And he's a totally different guy. He turns his chair at the yogurt shop to not be looking at the cute college girls. I mean, that's that's a different guy than and he refused to go to counseling, and now he sets up his own appointments to get support, to get whatever he's needing to be his best self. I mean, in your wildest dreams, when you were asking him to go to counseling, did you ever think you were going to get this outcome from him?
No. I was hopeful that we would be able to be amicable for the kids. That was like that was my biggest hope then. It was like I just hope we can get along for the kids' sake because I didn't want them to see us fighting, but I just never thought he would be this. I don't know.
Wow, that is mind blowing. So, and how has this affected your kids?
Oh my gosh. I have a teenage daughter and she cannot wait to get married because she wants as many flowers as I do. Because every time the man goes to the grocery store, he gets me at least 3 bouquets of flowers. My house is drowning in flowers and she can't wait. And I'm like, I love that her standards are this high and that she has the skills to get that many flowers. And I'm like, I've got a book for you and you're going to have the best marriage. And my sons, they will race my husband to the car door to open it for me because I'm not allowed to open my car door anymore. I shouldn't say allowed. That sounds bad, but my husband does not like when I'm a passenger princess now. I went from being a horrible co-pilot to a passenger princess and I don't ever open my car door either. If my husband's not there, one of my sons will do it. And he's 6, by the way. He's 6 years old
Oh,
and loves to open my door. So
so
I'm
sweet.
so grateful that they see this, that they see a really blissful marriage, not just mediocre. It's amazing.
Wow. And were these things that you were worried about before? Like you were trying to get him to show up a certain way so that your kids would get a good role model? Or it's just kind of like, these are just like bonus things that have kind of come out?
He was always a great dad. He's always has been just a wonderful father, but I did worry that they would see him checking out when we were fighting and him just being cold. And I didn't want them to become men who weren't honest and men who were, I had a fear of that for sure, but not anymore.
Wow. Amazing. That's incredible. Well,
Yeah.
okay, I'm super impressed. I mean, that's amazing to go from you're married to a porn addict, you regret it, you're looking at divorce attorneys, you think you made a mistake, he's not an honest man. And now it sounds like he's above average for integrity and honesty and the things
Yeah.
that you were wanting. And you sound more dignified and calm as well. You sound more confident. Is that
Yes. Yes. I was very, very insecure from, that just comes kind of with the territory of knowing your men want somebody else. There's a sense of like, well, I must not be enough and I must be ugly. Something must be wrong with me. And yeah, I think just focusing on the self-care really that and receiving really made me feel so worthy. Like I used to tell him, don't buy me flowers. That's such a waste of money. I want plants. They don't die. And I think looking back, it was tied to my self-worth. I wasn't worth the flowers. I wasn't worthy of it. And I was kind of showing everyone around me how to treat me by that. So yeah, I think receiving really my self-worth I know exactly what I'm worth. And yeah,
you're worth a lot now? That's
yeah,
awesome. So, okay, so how did you change it up on the flowers? Well, you said I would love flowers. And then
yep.
and
And
that
I
was
accept all of that. Because some
You
of them
ex-
were really ugly, Laura.
okay. So you got ugly flowers. Okay. So tell
I
us
love
about
them
that a
and
little bit. So why would you accept ugly flowers?
because if I want a different type of flower, I can just go get it myself. I don't want that. I want him to give me the flowers. And that's all that to me, it's like he thought of me at the grocery store. He thinks of me every time he's away from
Yes.
me. And he thought I would love these. And I can find something in them. You know, they're pink or there's something in them that I'm like, yes, I would love this about those flowers. So yeah, and I realized that the more I receive, the more, I mean, now he booked us, we had a couples massage every Friday. He has off of work on Fridays now so that we can have dates while the kids are in school. So we went and got a couples massage. And I mean, before I would have been like that, don't spend that. We don't need to do that. And now I just receive all of it. And he's getting, not that he was always good at it, but he's getting so much better at these amazing dates because he knows I'm not going to belittle him or make him feel bad about anything he's done. He knows that I'm just going to receive them and be grateful for all of them.
Do you ever find yourself though, like wanting to let him know, like, hey, like these flowers, like that's not the kind I like, or I'd rather have that
I
kind, or
and I'll call my friend. I'll call my friend and be like, "These are dyed, and they're so bad, but it's okay. I'm just gonna call you and tell you that." And and advice like she does the same for me. It's great to have someone working the skills with you because she understands that like I get my what used to be nagging to him. She receives that for me, and we can just laugh about it and say, you're getting flowers, so I can't complain about flowers really. I'm so thankful I get them. So I'm joking about it now, but truly they still put a smile on my face even if they aren't perfect.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I love that. And this is the friend from the movie date that,
yes. Yeah.
wow. So she's into it too. She's in this skills as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, and you guys support each other and you would share things with her that might hurt the intimacy if you said them to him. Like you're kind of prioritizing that connection, but still giving your feelings a day in the sun. Is that
Yeah. Yes. Or I mean, if she doesn't answer, I could just journal it or just let it go. Really, I feel like I let so much go because it's just not as important as I thought it was to make sure he gets me the exact perfect flower. That's not, I just want the sweet flowers. I don't really care what they look like.
it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a better receiver now. You're vulnerable. You express your just yeah, you did. It sounds like you through all the skills. Did you ever what about respect? Did you ever
That is why the duct tape is my favorite because I felt I was I read your book and I was like, oh, I am so disrespectful. I mean, and I was just I was just very disrespectful. I treated him as though he was dumb and he's not at all. He's actually very, very smart, but I just always spoke to him like he was not. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize what disrespect is to men versus what it is to women. Because a friend would think I'm helpful. A girlfriend would be like, thanks for the tip. But my husband does not want the tip. So I think, yeah, respect is definitely the duct tape for me kind of cures it. But it still pops up every now and then. And I just apologize for them now. And I'm so sincerely sorry. I think that first week when I found the skills, I apologized for hours every day because I had so much to apologize for. And he was just like, I thought I was in trouble. What's happening? But I was like, I've got more. I've got 19 years of stuff to apologize for. So I just went on a little apologetic rant every day of like, oh, I remembered this and I'm sorry for this. And I think he could hear the sincerity and how much I didn't know it was disrespectful.
wow. So you suddenly had this huge pile of things that you were apologizing to him for. And like the day before you weren't doing that.
No.
Like I could see why his head might have exploded. Like, what? Who are you? What
It
have you
was
done with my wife? I said, how did he? How did he respond to all those apologies?
At first, he was very like, no, 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 you don't need to apologize. I should be the one apologizing. And it was very much that. And then he kind of just would listen and be like, okay, crazy wife, now I don't know who you are. And kind of, but now he will randomly apologize to me for things that happened like 10 years ago. He'll just be like, I'm so sorry I wasn't tender with you in this moment. And I'm so sorry for this. And it means so much to hear that from his own heart and not from any therapist telling him to do it or me trying to force it out of him. They mean so much. They hold so much more weight now.
That must feel amazing. I think a lot of women crave that kind of accountability from their husbands, but you have brought that out in him. I mean, was that happening before?
No, never. I couldn't get him to apologize. I don't think he's ever really apologized. It would always be, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry
Oh,
that you think that. It was always, I'm sorry you think that. I'm sorry that, I somehow made him do something.
oh, which
There was never
feels worse
guilt.
than no apology, right? If it's
Yes.
that would make you even madder.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Wow.
now he's very accountable. He's just,
I
yeah.
mean, that must have made your head explode a little.
Oh, it made me sob, honestly. It's what I've always wanted. I just always wanted him to be so tender with me and so gentle with me. And to have that, it means everything because that's what we need as women, I think, to have our protectors. So
Wow. It sounds dreamy. So, all right. So let's just think about this: a woman who is feeling like you did, where her husband's addicted to porn, might also be a narcissist, and he's checking out every other woman. He has no interest in her, and she thinks this is probably like the her best option is to get divorced because it's going to be painful forever. And she wants to know how to get where you are now, where she gets flowers and he seduces her and she's turning him down and he's not looking at other women. He's not looking at porn and he's being really honest and having a lot of integrity and apologizing for things that happened 10 years ago. To like, what should she do? What's your best tip for her?
I think obviously besides reading your book, obviously, my best tip would be to write a better story because I realized that I was writing a terrible story and I was finding you can find proof for anything. So I wish back then I would have written a different story that he was either struggling and still loved me or that I wish I would have written a better story that made him the good guy in the story versus the villain in my story.
Wow. So you can do that. You can just write your own story. I mean, what about reality?
I think I even then I could focus on the things that he was doing that did show that he loved me. I mean, he even in our worst fight, if I had said, "Can you run to the store and grab me this?" he would have immediately done that because he loved me, and he would do anything for me, and that includes giving up porn or anything really. But I wasn't focused on anything good. I had made it very all or nothing. It was very he's done this, so he cannot possibly love me. And I think two things can be true at once. He can do something that I don't love and he can still love me.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I love that idea. So write your own you've written the story the way you want to experience it now. And it sounds like you are experiencing that.
Yeah,
Like you love your story now.
I
So, and
do.
and so let me just pause for a second too and say, so what is your marriage like today? Like, what is it like right now?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. He's so tender with me. He's so even when I'm not doing the skills, like I was lost my mind on my kids the other day because it was so late and I was just about to burst and he's like, "Calm down. I've got them. You go do something else." And I was like, "Who is this man? Who is this man?" Like it's just even when I'm being, you know, not my best self and not being really respectful, I was just annoyed at everyone in that moment. And he's still very patient, very kind, he just wants to make me happy. That's all he wants. And I have so much proof of that.
Wow. So now you make yourself happy and he makes you happy. You're
Yeah,
ridiculously happy, sounds
I
like.
am ridiculously happy. I am.
I love it. I love it, Jessica. It's so good.
I
Okay,
do
so
share one other story with you if I can, because
yes.
I almost forgot. And it's like my little miracle thing. When we were in marriage coaching, she had asked us, "What do you want?" And I was so annoyed and I didn't, write down all that I wanted every day. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I want something, that shows me that he loves me, some grand gesture. I want new kitchen counters because I knew at the time it wasn't in our budget to redo the kitchen. And she was like, Jessica, you're so unreasonable. Do something, like ask for something reasonable. And I was like, no, I want new kitchen counters. And she's like, well, how about a date night? Let's start with the date night.
Oh,
I didn't mention these counters ever again. Okay. I did the skills. This man sold his car that he loved. I mean, he's had this car for like 15 years. His favorite car, loved it. He sold it. And thank goodness I had the skills because I was like, you are asking in my head. I'm like, you're asking way too much money. It seemed like a scam. The guy was coming in from this other state. His address was a hotel. I'm like, so many red flags. I'm like, something is very wrong here. The dealership only offered you this much. Why is he giving you so much more? But I didn't say any of it. I mean, I think I should have probably put actual duct tape to hide my facial expressions. But I would just call my friend and be like, we're getting scammed. We're going to lose all this money. He's selling his car to the scam artist. It worked out fine. The guy actually paid over what it was worth. And my husband got me new kitchen counters with the money from that. And I messaged our marriage coach and I was like, I just want you to know that I got my kitchen counters.
so ha 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 ha.
It wouldn't have happened without you because I know I would have been like, I mean, he was giving him a cashier's check and he was going to take the car. I'm like, there was so many things that I was like, this is not good. Like he's going to take the car and cancel the check. Like this is not a good idea. But it's like, it's his car. We just lose money and it's okay. And I had kind of accepted that we were getting scammed and it just was going to be a hard lesson, but I was going to be respectful about it. And I'm so thankful that you taught me to just duct tape and let him figure it out because it wasn't a scam and I would have stopped it before. So thank goodness that I
So
didn't. And I have
courageous. So that is takes so much courage to just keep your mouth shut and so much humility to be telling us the story and saying like I was wrong. He wasn't wrong. I was the one that was wrong in this situation. I got new kitchen countertops out of the deal. And he remembered that from the bad old days on the coach, counselor, whatever she was. Yeah. The
oh,
person that is also kind of the villain in this story, I have to say. I don't like her very much. so, but so he just remembered that and brought it forward.
yeah, it wasn't even something I said. I was shocked because it wasn't even on my desire list. Like it wasn't, yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, you hadn't. So, and were you not mentioning it because it felt like too much because she had said that?
I just think it wasn't a huge priority to me, I don't think. I have a lot of ridiculous things that I want, but I don't know, that one wasn't super important to me, so I just didn't say that one because it was like, "Meh, I don't need it right now. We can wait a few years for that." But
Okay, so this is how much he wanted to be your hero. He sold his car of the love of his life to get you something that you had mentioned a while ago that you might like. So yeah, it
yeah.
shows how much you're the priority. I love that story. That is a miracle. That is definitely a miracle. From where you came from to here, it's incredible. So, okay, what would you tell yourself if you could go back in time and tell yourself what you know now?
Uh, I'm trying to think. I think I tell myself not to be so afraid because I was really scared that he was going to dupe me again. And I was just going to believe that he was different and he was just going to hide the porn better and lie better because I was onto him now. So I think I would release that fear and just say it's worth giving him another chance, at least even just for the kids and for us.
Yeah. To not be so afraid is, it's a tall order in a way, right? Like, what do you do? What do you do with that fear?
Focus on myself is what I do now.
I love it. You know the answer. I love it. And
Yeah.
what would happen? Let's say you did catch him doing something along those lines again. Like, then what?
I think I just have so much more compassion for him now. I just think he's so wonderful and he has so many good qualities that something like that could never make me leave because I just love him too much. Not that I don't think I'd be like A-okay with him being a porn addict again. Like, I don't think it'd be that, but I have a lot more compassion and I would not go about it trying to control him. I think it's more of curiosity now and like why and what's the real reason behind this now versus anger and control and fear that I had before.
Yeah. Yeah. So your response is totally different than what it would have been in the bad old days. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
had
that
told him in the back gate. Yeah, I was like, if I ever catch you again, don't even expect to see me or the kids again because I'll just be done. It wasn't even a threat at the moment. It was just if you ever do this to me again, I'm leaving.
wow. Yeah. And that threat is not there for him now.
No, no. He knows he can tell me when he can be open and honest with me because that's all I want. I don't want a perfect man. I just want an honest and open man and now he has that. He had told me that in the bad old days, he was just so scared of my responses to things that he didn't feel like he could be honest because I would chop his head off. And he was right. I would. He was absolutely right. There was no
Wow.
prize for being honest in the past. It was
That's right.
you're
Yeah, the foggies will continue until you're honest, finally, right? Yeah. So you have created emotional safety at your house.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Wow. Well, it's a phenomenal story, and Jessica, I have got to give you this award, the Best Wife Award, because you definitely deserve it. You're incredible. You've chosen your faith over your fear, again and again until it just seems like this is your habit now. And you cured your husband of porn addiction. I'm going to say so. I give you credit for that. So, and made him and yourself like into your best selves. Just created a culture of emotional safety. It's a I don't I it's a miracle. It's a miracle. So, but I give you all the credit. So well done.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing all the details of your incredibly inspiring story with us. I'm unspeakably grateful for all that you've contributed to the mission to end world divorce today.
Oh, likewise. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. You've just, yeah, you've changed my life. So thank you.
For more of the proven secrets on how to make your marriage playful and passionate without his conscious effort, check this out.